So you just started playing Left 4 Survival and you finally decided, hey, let me get a Robux weapon, or you just been playing this game for a while and you decided, let me just get a Robux weapon. There are many of these Robux weapons. Many of them have pros and many of them have cons, such as cons as heavyweight, which will basically decrease your mobility. The other cons of these other guns is the fact that they have little to no accuracy, or the fact that they have 100% point on accuracy. You just have to be really good with your aim, but this will be incredibly difficult when you just started to play this game or you just wanted to get better. The weapon I found the most successful to actually run and be basically good in every single scenario is the Flamethrower. The Flamethrower is by far the best Robux weapon, especially for newbies. And to even just not even be that good with it, or just to be even extremely good with this Flamethrower. This Flamethrower has so many pros that it literally has one con. The fact that it literally has it doesn't have long range. That's probably it. And literally it has so many pros that literally I can't even explain to you correctly on how they are. But let's just get on with it. First of all, this gun has little to no damage, 25 damage per fireball, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when you're just shooting a few shots, you will find yourself quickly and killing infected with little to no shots, especially the fact that every single fireball does fire burn damage, and the fact that you will just burn infected easily after some time. What's it called? The magazine capacity for this is 30 bullets per mag, and especially the fact that there's 270 bullets, or fireballs as you could say, on the side, meaning you will have so much ammo. Even if you're just constantly using the weapon, like by spraying it all the time, you will have so much ammo that you don't even have to worry about the ammo station all the time. Next up is, of course, well, if I want to buy this weapon, what loadouts do you suggest? Easy. The best loadout I've found by far is number 1, of course, Flamethrower, number 2, Python, to take care of tanglers or any faraway infected like tanglers or hunters that are coming towards you or aiming on you, so you can quickly take care of them easily, or just to practice your aim overall. Number 3 is Machete. If you're not good against running around or dodging or something like that, then you can go for the Machete to take care of the easy tanglers, or just to be able to take care of tanglers in the future if there are so many infected on you. Number 4 is the armor. Now, for newbies, I would say either light armor or heavy armor. Speed armor is a lot more difficult because you are just mostly fast all the time. Well, if you're not good at basically parkouring around infected and just to maneuver around them all the time, then I wouldn't really suggest it. I would more or less say speed armor or heavy armor. Light armor or heavy armor, mostly because heavy armor gives you a lot more HP and a lot more resistances, but if you're just starting the game, then of course heavy armor, so you can take a lot more hits and practice a lot more better. Light armor, so you can basically practice your mobility, which is super useful with combined the speed armor if you're starting to get better and better at the game. So mostly I would say light armor if you're wanting to get better and better at the game. Next up is utility. What utility do you recommend? Do not go for the Bloxy Cola or any other utilities, mostly because you want to take care of the one infected that can counter your entire loadout, or as you could say, your one weapon, the Flamethrower, and that is the Inferno. The Inferno actually does have fire resistance and of course explosion resistance actually against any RPGs, explosives, and especially the Flamethrower. So what weapon would you recommend to kill them instantly? Because I mean, Machete and Python will do much. I would highly recommend Fire Extinguisher. Fire Extinguisher is a hard counter because Fire Extinguisher only goes against, or only works against Infernos, because Infernos are the only ones that have fire damage and fire resistances. Having a Fire Extinguisher basically counters any Infernos that you will have in the future, especially if they're hiding behind a horde of infected. You can just quickly take it out when you kill them enough infected and just spray it for a few shots and kill the Infernos, so you can basically take care of them in the future. Especially if they're just alone, just take it out, shoot a few shots, and they will die within seconds. This is a hard counter to Infernos, the only infected that can actually ruin your entire existence in this game. So go for the Fire Extinguisher. Do not go for anything else. Next up is defenders. If you have any defenders, go for them, but if you don't, that's fine either way. Now next up is, well, what do you do as soon as you go into a game? Number 1, you can actually camp it out or just run around the map with your teammates and protect them all the time, whichever one. But the first thing you should do as soon as the game starts is go for the medkit station. Open up the medkit station, see what you have. You will 100% have medkit all the time, 100% all the time. and a bunch of other utilities like the pepper, which will actually go super well against infernos as well if there's a bunch of infected around you and you can't really handle the infernos right now, or you just want to eat something incredibly fast so you can actually get a little bit of bonus health. And then there's Bloxy, which is amazingly good in this game. So of course you want to hope that you get a Bloxy. Then there's like a grenade and then a bunch of other stuff that you can get. But really, the only thing that matters is what you get, especially for the medkit station for the future. And as soon as you get the medkit station, just hang out, just start killing infected left and right, and basically just get better and better at the game while using this gun. Okay, now I'm going to be going over the tips. Number 1, this gun requires little to no aim precision. Just aim it at the direction you want and just start spraying left and right, or just start spraying at the infected that are trying to avoid you, and eventually you'll kill them without using even attempting that much with this gun. This gun requires little to no aim, that you literally just spray and pray all the time, and eventually you will kill any infected that are on you at all times. Super useful. Number 2 is if there's any any teammates that are behind like a building or like a wall that you basically have to like enter a door or go around to actually save them, just go up to the wall that they are currently like behind and just shoot the flamethrower through the wall, which will just shoot the wall, and the flames will actually go through the wall and damage any infected that are on your teammate, especially tanglers and hunters or even chillers that are gonna ambush you. This tactic is super useful because you waste little to no time going around them and basically just going to the wall and just shooting at the wall, and eventually shooting at shooting and killing eventually any infected that are on your teammate, eventually freeing them while you are taking no damage, being behind the wall freely and safely. Another tip is if you're like for an example on the map Subway, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be, then if you're going just about to turn around the corner, shoot around the corner first. Just shoot the corner or just shoot the walls behind the corner without even turning the corner, basically doing the wall tactic is what I'm talking about. And eventually either you will hit some hit points, meaning there is an infected around there about to ambush you and you can just quickly get the kill, or just quickly damage them until they eventually run away, which will make it a safe corner to actually go through and do the same thing around every corner, especially even in open maps. If you're about to turn a corner like behind a building or behind something, you can just shoot around the corner quickly or just shoot through the corner and basically damage any infected that are ambushing you at any time. Super useful when you are basically alone, or when there's a bunch of infected that are all around you and you don't know exactly where they are. Just shoot around the corners to get the first easy upper advantage, so they can no longer ambush you. Any other tips? Well, since this gun is incredibly good with basically damaging any infected at all times without even aiming, if you're the last person standing and there's a bunch of infected, especially all grouped up, just shoot around left and right. Eventually they will all die within seconds at the same time, because this weapon can actually damage multiple enemies at once, which will eventually kill them. And basically it just becomes so good with so much ammo, and the fact that you literally use little to no ammo to kill a giant horde that all are getting damaged at the same amount of time. Is there any other tips? Yes, this gun can actually go counter the only infected that is actually really strong in this game, and that is the Banshee and Chiller. The Banshee and Chiller, of course, against the Chiller, it kills them really fast because, I mean, it's flames against ice, so there's that. And then finally, against Banshee, when they're all around speeding around or just jumping all around, you could just spray and pray, just shooting the weapon left and right or up all over the place without even aiming at her, and you will eventually start to damage her and kill her eventually without you even trying to, like, aim at her, really. Just aim at the direction she is, just shoot left and right, eventually you'll start to damage her, and eventually she'll die without you even having to panic that much, apart from the fact of she using her ability. Just jump left and right and eventually she'll use it, and then you can just shoot all over the place until eventually you kill her without even worrying about her too much. This weapon is incredibly good in every single scenario I just said, especially with the correct loadout like I provided, and the fact that literally it goes well with every single strategy you're using, with either camping or running around. It has so many pros that I'm surprised not many people are using it. But either way, this weapon is by far the best weapon you should go with, purchase as the first ever Robux weapon, mainly because it is so simple to use and you require little to no skill to actually use it. But getting mastered with it, you will become so incredibly good at the game.